My daughter almost had a breakdown in fear of asking me to be in the same room as my cheating ex-wife. We have not spoken to each other in 6 years. My ex-wife cheated on me 6 years ago, and when I discovered her in a 4-month affair with a married man, we shared a 15-year-old daughter together and co-parented exclusively through my sisters or email. I found out because AP wife sent me all of the pictures and videos that they took cheating on us with on his phone. Some of the deal breakers for me were that she did anal and facials with AP, but flat out refused to do those acts with me, citing that those acts were disgusting and against her integrity as a woman. She literally told me her body, her rules, before presenting her with the evidence I had. I had given her a chance to come clean. However, she gaslighted me, even swore on our daughter's life. I told her that if you had any integrity or respect for me at all, you would tell me the truth right now. She held firm that I was crazy and making wild accusations with no facts. So I then present the facts when confronted with the evidence. She broke down and looked me in the face and said, "She is a PCC, and I knew her betrayal was beyond disrespectful and ultimately something I would never forgive." I told her to go forward under no circumstances except health, safety, and the life or end of our daughter. Should she contact me? We divorced soon after, fast forward 6 years later. Last month, my daughter asked if I would attend a dinner that she was cooking to prepare for her baking and cooking competition. I, of course, agreed, but the kicker was that her mother or my ex-wife would be there too. She knows why we divorced and accepts my NC with her mother. Mind you, I haven't seen her spoken to my ex-wife in close to 6 years at the dinner. Some of my former in-laws and ex-wife were there and will be there as my sisters and myself. My daughter's food was delicious, and everything went smoothly. 1 week after dinner, I received a phone call from my ex-wife that I obviously answered, because I thought something was wrong with our daughter. Nothing was wrong with our daughter. But ex-wife wanted to sincerely apologize for her actions in the past and the damage she did to break up our family. She said that our daughter almost had a breakdown with the fear of her asking me to be in the same place as her, and that our current dynamic is not healthy. She wanted to know if there was any way to coexist healthy for future events with our daughter. I did not interrupt her and let her finish what she had to say. When she finished talking, I responded by saying no and discontinued the call. Here's where I need advice. My sister told me my ex-wife is truly ashamed and sorry for breaking up the family and just wants a healthy environment for our daughter. My sister tells me to move on and to think about our daughter's mental health. I reminded my sister that what value image to my daughter's life if I am unhappy, my ex-wife does not make me happy. So on Reddit, I need an unbiased opinion. Should I forgive my ex-wife and move on to build a better co-parenting relationship with my wife for my daughter's sake? Comments. Why do you were told this on the other thread, which you have since deleted? Grow up and be a better parent. I'm still curious to find out how your current girlfriend feels about your intense emotions over this angle. Thank you for your opinion. My current girlfriend is amazing and she understands my position as my ex-wife. She actually feels just the way I do. My GF used to share a mutual friend with my ex-wife, and even her friend says no one trusts the ex-wife anymore and none of her friends' husbands like her. She is universally disliked. The few friends she does have are also divorced and kind of the outcast type. I'd still be concerned if my boyfriend was this obsessed and angry about a relationship that ended years ago. But fair enough. Your current situation may be working for you, but not for your daughter. And your daughter just hasn't said anything because she doesn't want to hurt your feelings. Talk to your daughter and ask her to be honest and then go from there. But it seems like you are holding on to an unhealthy amount of hatred for your ex-wife after all of this time. Listen to your sister when she tells you to just move on and think about your daughter. I have not confirmed what my ex-wife said is true yet. With my daughter, we alternate weeks. 1 week on, 1 week off. My daughter will be here tomorrow morning. My daughter has no problem voicing her concerns or advocating for herself. I feel like there is something more to this. As a child of divorce, I can say that it is very stressful when dealing with parents who can't stand each other. I don't think you have to forgive your ex or even create some new friendly relationship with her, but at the very least, be more open about communication just with general stuff about your daughter and show her that she shouldn't be afraid to want both of her parents at important engagements like her dinner. In short, You don't ever have to forgive your ex, but you do have to move on for the sake of your daughter. Overall, the advice is that he needs to move on and be a better copper for the sake of his daughter. Update. I spoke to my 15-year-old daughter yesterday, and what she had to say was an eye-opener. She told me that she knows that I love her and would do anything for her, so she doesn't want to use my love for her by making me do things I normally would not otherwise do. She says her mom is struggling with sadness sometimes and tells her all the time that your father is not ever going to move past hating me, which makes it hard for everyone else to stop judging her for her past as well. Apparently, my ex-wife is venting her grievances with our daughter because she has so few friends. Context. The ex-wife lost the majority of our childhood friends as we all grew up together. None of the husbands want their wives to hang out with them due to the fact that she used girls' night as an excuse to be with AP, and some of the wives knowingly and some unknowingly covered for her. This caused a lot of drama. It is a common belief that some of the other wives were cheating as well, but no other proof can be found. Since my divorce with the ex, the other wives have essentially removed her from the group to save their marriage. Daughter also explained to me that she missed our family being together if she was being honest, but understood that me and her mother loved her. She then asked me about forgiveness and then about unforgiveness. Things people cannot be forgiven for. I told her that is ultimately a standard you have to set for yourself. It comes from the morality and values you have within yourself. I explained that sometimes you can dislike the actions but not the person, and sometimes you cannot associate the actions from the person. Example, Jafari Barath and from God. She hates him with passion. I said her mother is someone whose actions I cannot associate with. I said, it doesn't mean she is a bad mom. It just means she is someone with whom I cannot dissociate her actions. As a result, our relationship can never be the same. I then told her that just because someone says sorry, it doesn't mean that everything is okay. Unfortunately, some actions have consequences, and in her mother's case, her actions are part of who she is as a person. Daughter then asked me if I have ever forgiven someone who has hurt me before, and I say yes, I have forgiven a lot of people. Forgiveness is a very important quality to have as a person. Ultimately, we had a very good conversation last night, and she said me and her mom will always be there for her when she has big life events. I will be talking to my ex-wife soon about her comments to our daughter. Comments. User 1. Your daughter seems like a very mature and thoughtful exact story. It's extremely stressful to have two parents who cannot have a conversation. I'm in my 20s now, but growing up was very painful and damaging. I wish my parents would have grown up and put their love for me first, but their hate came first. User 3, TBH from the previous post, I got very weird vibes and all this hatred is really unsettling to say the least. The OP hates his ex more than he loves his daughter. Update 2. So after my last post, I decided to schedule an appointment with two separate therapists who specialize in marriage and family counseling after divorce. I saw these two therapists over the course of 5 months. I did 5 sessions with each therapist, 1 woman and 1 male. In the sessions, I went over all the issues I dealt with my ex-wife and the current dynamics we have in place now. I showed both therapists my Reddit post and wanted truly to non-biased opinions from 2 professionals of the opposite sex. The advice they both gave me provided the contrast I needed to make any necessary changes in my life. The first thing I did was invite my ex-wife to join me in 3 planned therapy consultations, which I would pay for. The goals were simple. First, create an avenue for my ex-wife to start speaking with a professional instead of our daughter about our issues. Second, give her closure, not forgiveness, but an opportunity to give her any answers she may need to recover and be a better mother and person to our shared child. Last, build and commit to a plan that we will follow on how we will deal with parenting our daughter and behave at shared life events. She accepted my offer. First session. The first session was all about sharing our POV on the current state of our lives and what we both want for our daughter. I shared that I am currently enjoying my life as my professional and personal lives are flourishing in the sense that I have achieved balance and joy in my core life. Goals and accomplishments are being met for my daughter. I shared that my goal is to ensure that she is happy, enjoys her childhood, is loved, and understands the value of self-respect and commitment to core values. I always share with her that everyone loves to believe that they are exceptions to the rules, but sometimes following the rules is what makes a person exceptional. Having a clear sense of what is right and wrong and behaving in that fashion is very important to who you are. I shared that my biggest regret in life would be if my daughter turned out like her mother used to be 7 or 8 years ago. It was brutal to say this in the session, but I truly believe in fear that the ex-wife then shares the current state of her life. She is very passionate about her career as an interior-exterior designer. She quite literally turns houses into homes. She shares that she is currently working on herself because her past few relationships ended poorly because of her baggage from our marriage. And divorce has made her very afraid of commitment. She also wants our daughter to be happy, loved, and a hard worker. She responded to my comment about me being afraid of my daughter turning out like she did 7 years ago. She said her pride was hurt by that comment, but years of therapy helped her realize she must accept that her actions of the past have warranted that kind of comment from me. She said she knows our daughter does not want to be like her because she has asked her many times, besides cheating on Dad, what the real reason is why he will never forgive you. She said, "People cheat and get divorced all the time, but they are still friends. However, Dad truly thinks you are a bad person, but you are a good mom." For years she thought I was poisoning our daughter against her, but she quickly realized that was just her own guilt eating her away. The session ended quickly after that. Second session this session, my ex-wife asked a lot of questions. I mean a lot. Nevertheless, I answered all of them honestly and bluntly. The 3 main questions she asked were the following one. How did I heal from the wounds that she caused, and what advice could I give her, as she is still trying to heal from the wounds she caused herself? I explained that the damage she caused wasn't like a stab or cut wound that you could stitch back together. I said her damage was more like amputating a limb from my body. My recovery wasn't focused on healing, but rather on how to walk, lift, or learn how to eat with my feet because I no longer had hands. I recovered from what she did by reteaching myself how to not be defined by my disability, but more importantly, by gaining strength from it. I ended by saying I am still recovering. There is no healing to this wound. The leg is gone. I said my advice to her would be to not amputate your next partner. Stop focusing on healing and start prioritizing. Recovering from the damage you caused. Some things cannot be fixed, but they can sometimes be replaced, or provide life lessons on how to behave in the future too. How can she replace what she has broken? I replied by giving an analogy. When a woman has a miscarriage, she doesn't replace the child. She is lost when she has another baby. She values the life of the child. She has because she knows what it is like to lose a child, or not have a child at all. She doesn't replace what she has lost. She has to use her previous loss as a vehicle to find love in what she has now. I reiterated that she cannot replace or fix this. Her actions are permanent and cannot be undone. She must recover and use her experience to be better next time. 3. Is there anything she could do to allow us to be friends again? I replied by saying no. However, her being a great mother to our daughter and showing her how to recover from the mistakes she made in the past would go a long way in making sure our shared interests are met. I explained that there is no scenario in which I can give you forgiveness because it is not a gift I can give. This gift must come from yourself. I cannot be responsible for your happiness or forgiveness for. Would you allow me to keep trying? I am sure. Last session. In the last session, we reached major agreements. We came to an agreement that I would allow her to contact me outside of an emergency if she agreed to not speak about our relationship with our daughter. Please let her be a kid. She can call me directly if she wants to coordinate vacations, holidays, or gifts. I will agree to do 1 counseling session a year with her until our daughter is married or graduates from college. The goal of the session is to build a stronger co-parent relationship and ensure we are not letting our past ruin our shared experiences with our daughter. Overall, it has been 3 months since our last session, and I believe that I did what was the most important immediate need for the child, which was to ensure she does not feel she is responsible for me and her mother's happiness when it comes to her life. She is back to being a 6-year-old teenager, worrying about boys' clothes and social status, which I am perfectly happy to deal with. As for my ex-wife, that is a whole other thread. Comments: You're a good father. Don't ever doubt that man. Thank you. I truly try to make my daughter the best woman she can be. Opie comments on another deleted post. My ex-wife has been doing this to me lately. She calls me 3 to 5 times a week, literally, to ask me for advice or to say she saw one of my friends. What she is really doing is trying to integrate me back into my life. The only reason I can answer is because we share a daughter. Flaring has concluded the original issue of better co-parenting for the sake of his daughter is at least resolved. There are no subsequent posts dealing with the therapy sessions or his relationship with his ex-wife. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoy listening to these kinds of stories, we've got more in store for you. Simply subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share it with your friends.